Housewives of Atlanta, it's Kandi Burruss.
Yes.
Now, Kandi, your adorable son, Ace, he just turned 1, his first birthday. Can you believe it?
Yes, I can't believe it's been 1 year already.
Goes by fast.
We had like this wonderful birthday party with all our friends and family at this like air jump
What was
place.
the theme? It was flying?
Flying Ace. Because Flying Ace is like an expert pilot or something. So yeah, it was everybody came.
Nice.
It really felt good because a lot of my friends, some of them flew from out of town. Like
that is amazing.
Dr. Rachel brought her baby from the doctors.
Look at the airplane
Gandhi.
balloons.
Oh my goodness, yes, it was so fun. It was like a real birthday party, not she foo foo. It was more just like
for the kids.
Yeah, it was a lot of family, a lot of friends, and fun.
Good.
That's a whole lot of treats. I like to have good food. There was a lot of good food, too.
Oh, goodness.
I love it.
But we had a great time.
Oh, that's always good. Yeah.
It's great to celebrate children's birthdays. I like going to kids' birthday parties.
Yeah,
And I don't have any kids, but I just come with myself and I act very childlike.
You always
I get in the balls, the jumping, bouncy houses, all of that.
If you come to a kid's birthday party, you do not go wearing heels. Then you know you're not ready. You gotta wear some sneakers. You gotta ready. You get down and dirty.
Exactly.
Well, you know what the funny thing is? Ace didn't even know what was going on. He was just looking like, all these people here. And then we even had obviously, I wanted to take a whole bunch of pictures because it's his first party.
Yeah.
He's looking like, if you make me take one more picture.
I usually always say the first birthday party is more about the parents.
Yes.
Celebrating that you made it an entire year.
Okay.
I get it.
Good
Kid is
job.
alive and well.
You're alive, the child is alive, so it's all good.
The first year is work.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, on a heavier note, up next, the fallout continues from the executive order President Trump signed this past Friday, which temporarily banned refugees in 7 Muslim-majority countries from entering the United States. The ban stopped many travelers from boarding their planes overseas, as well as forcing others to turn around and go back home upon arrival in the United States. Custom agents at various airports were forced to detain dozens of people, which caused mass protests at airports across the country, as you can see right here. So, ladies, what went through your minds, as you watched all of this unfold over the weekend?
I was just like, I was totally thrown off. It's crazy because I found out on social media as I'm scrolling. A lot of us get our information there throughout the day. And I just couldn't believe that he did something so drastic. Because, let's be for real. If it wasn't for immigration and all those things, we wouldn't have a first lady right now.
We wouldn't have a country.
Yeah, we wouldn't have a country.
Yeah.
This was the new world, okay? That's the way they described it in history books because we are, most of us are immigrants. Unless you can, Native American, most of us came from other places. And this is a country that was built on immigration and immigrants.
Absolutely.
For me, it felt so severe and hasty. It seems chaotic. It seems like everybody is left in an emotional uproar. We don't know why. Why 90 days? What is that supposed to do differently than any longer? I want to understand why 90 days, why those 7 specific countries, when a lot of countries who were guilty of terrorism weren't involved in the 7 countries banned, and why everybody, why mothers, children, grandmothers,
breaking up families.
Why every single person? It's scary because I just imagine having immigrant parents if this happened to my mom and dad. And my mom and dad would not have survived if they lived in Vietnam or would have survived in really torturous conditions. They had to escape, and the people that are escaping to flee here are fleeing for their lives. They're carrying just literally the food and the children on their back to get here, and we're shutting them down and blocking them. It just feels so inhumane. It feels un-American.
Well, I think that there's a lot of concern as all Americans that we should have because when they did this order, they just wrote the order and they forgot to tell a few people, like the head of Homeland Security. As a matter of fact, there were reports that he was on the phone doing a telephone conference about this order, and they look up and they look on television and Trump is holding the order up, going, I signed the order. And so when you do that, there was nothing in place, and that's why you had all this chaos.
Yeah.
But what I like about our country, we are the land of the free. We are people that will fight.
Yes.
A federal court in New York
great.
issued an emergency stay on President Trump's order, and the ACLU filed a class action lawsuit on behalf of 2 Iraqis who were detained at the JFK airport. There have been a lot of other attorneys and judges that have filed motions to halt this, because what's happening is that, you know, our country, we have First Amendment rights, and that is freedom of religion. Right. And freedom of religion means that we don't judge by someone's religion. That's just what we have.
Right, but did you hear what former Mayor Rudy Giuliani said when he was like, well, it's not based on, you know, banning Muslims. You know, he tried to turn it around, but he basically gave all the tea of how he helped set it up.
Oh, yeah.
I could not believe he gave all that information basically to say that Donald Trump called him to say, hey, how can we put a ban on Muslims? Like, that is so terrible. And then he just comes back with, I'll do it legally. I'll help you do it legally. Like, yeah, I can help you put this all together. I got the play. I got it all together.
I'm concerned, you guys, as a whole, as a country. Yeah. Because what we have to realize is that 50% of Americans did vote for this man to be in office.
That's what
and he is.
Where are they, by the way?
And he is. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm about to say. He is just finishing out these promises. So what I'm trying to look at is how can we unify with those people who actually voted for him so that we can find some common ground. Because the reality is, divided we fall, and united we stand.
Yes.
Well, so we have to find a way.
So it was.
How do we do this? How do we move? How do we move from here? How do we progress?
Well, it starts with your president. But the thing is that I don't want to blame some of those people, because a lot of those people felt like what Trump was saying, they didn't think he was actually going to do.
True. So what do they do now?
Like, really? He's really doing it? But you always have to believe, this is what we were trying to say to everybody in September. We were like, look, listen to the man. What he's saying could actually happen. When somebody tells you something, you believe it. If somebody say they're going to kick my ass, I got to believe, you know what? I got to protect myself.
We just want to clarify, 50% of the voters, not 50% of America, but 50% of the people that voted.
Yeah.
And it actually was less than that.
What I mean is half of the country, the other half. I've never, as long as I've been alive, I have never seen this country so divided as I see it right now.
In our
lifetime, in my lifetime. I know it's probably
it starts with your leader. Your leader has to do something.
Now, speaking of our leader, in response to the controversy, President Trump issued a statement saying, quote, to be clear, this is not a Muslim ban. This is not about religion. This is about terror and keeping our country safe. Okay. There are over 40 different countries worldwide that are majority Muslim that are not affected by this order. This feels hasty. It feels chaotic. This just threw America into an uproar. People are shocked, including people who voted for him.
And you know what? People all over the world, we got trolled by Canada. Canada trolled us. Since it's an issue, many prominent names have decided to speak out publicly against the ban. Facebook founder Mark Zuckerberg said, and I quote, we are a nation of immigrants. We all benefit from the best and the brightest from around the world that can live and work and contribute here. And Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau.
I loved this.
He sent out a tweet.
Low-key, just...
Low-key, he was like, to those fleeing persecution, terror, and war, Canadians will welcome you regardless of your faith. Diversity is our strength. # welcome to Canada.
# the shade. Hashtag for that shade. I was here for it.
But what about the other hashtag when everybody was doing hashtag delete Uber?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I mean, honestly, everybody was on that movement because the owner of Uber was backing it and dropping his rates so that when they decided to not take the taxis were saying, okay, we're not going to go to the New York airport. And, you know, instead of standing with them, Uber said, oh, well, we'll drop our rates and, you know, come do it.
Yeah.
What?
Either
People
way,
were really
it's
upset
poor
about
form.
that.
I don't know what they meant by kind of capitalizing on that moment when they could have just taken on rides, make money in that moment that the taxis, which I thought
Or
was
not
really
say
noble.
anything.
For taxi drivers to actually stand a line with these people that were being, being forced to stay, being not able to travel, for them to take that stand was huge and very noble because the taxi drivers have taken a huge hit in being able to make income since ride sharing.
But I know people want to feel safe. I know there are a lot of people, especially, I've been reading comments, people from Middle America, they say, you know what, we feel safe now.
You saw people saying that?
Yeah, seriously. You got to remember, there's always three sides to every story. There's one side, the other side, and then there's the truth. And the thing is that we forget that in our country, we have millions of people working in our interests. We have technology. The safety thing just didn't start when Trump became in office. We have CIA, FBI, we have technology. We have people that are really working hard to protect us. So to those people that I feel safe, you've always been safe. Maybe you just didn't know. There are a lot of things that they don't tell us publicly because they don't want us to scare us. So don't feel like all the past presidents haven't been doing things. There's so many things that it will blow our minds. We don't need to know about it because they're operating under different things. So
I honestly don't feel safe because I feel like, okay, now that you're doing that, you're kind of antagonizing those people to want to try to do
making
something.
enemies.
It's like, whoa.
For no reason, when they can simply say, we have not harmed you in any way, why are you making us the enemy?
On the surface, that seems like that. But believe me, I know people that love this country. They work for our country. They continue to be safe. There are things that happen every day. We just don't hear about it.
100%.
I have to give it up to those people that are still working on our behalf, no matter who the president is. Thank you.
For those that had the question, obviously, of Obama doing something similar in 2011, John Feiner, who worked with the Obama administration, said the Obama administration did not ban visas for refugees from Iraq for 6 months. Unquote. I'd like to say these are some of the other, what was that? I would like to say this is some more alternative facts that have been thrown out there that people are running with. The Obama administration's 2011 review came in response to a specific threat, including the arrest in Kentucky of 2 Iraq refugees. So it was grounded in a specific threat. You guys, Homeland Security didn't even know about this. So I think that makes a huge difference in my opinion.
That's what I'm saying. Different people are working.
Yeah.
One more thing, because I know we're running long. I want to give it up to, if you feel like, well, what can I do? Because I know a lot of people feel, helpless.
No, but it's okay.
If you're questioning certain things, we have people that are fighting to make sure that we stay within the Constitution. There are organizations like the ACLU. I mean, the ACLU raised $24 million this weekend. People started donating. You have legal defense funds, the NAACP legal defense funds. People are working pro bono. So if I would implore you to donate to those defense funds because those are attorneys that really care. They will try to work on behalf of us as a nation, and we just have to keep abreast of this. This is why we're talking about it. It's difficult. We're gonna make some people upset about talking about this, but we need to talk about this because we need to stay aware of what's happening in our country. This is our country. This is everybody.
I think it is important that we continue to pray for our country. I actually found this quote in the Bible in Leviticus 19:33 through 34. When a foreigner resides among you in your land, do not mistreat them. The foreigner residing among you must be treated as your native born. Love them as yourself, for you were foreigners in Egypt.